Call the meeting to order for the Village of Round Lake Beach. This is our board meeting for Monday, March 27, 2017. Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk.
Here.
Trustee Valdez.
Here.
Trustee Wallace.
Here.
Trustee Butler.
Here.
Trustee Nichols.
Here.
Trustee Bennis. Mayor Hill.
Here, let the record show a quorum is present. Would you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Valdez.
Second.
Second by trustee Wallace. We have a motion is second. Once again, any corrections, additions, deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved as written. We have our minutes from the council meeting on March 13, 2017. Any corrections or clarifications? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Butler, second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and a second. Once again, any corrections, clarifications? Again, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. We have no expenditures to approve tonight, no ratifications, so move on to our activity reports. Any trustees have any reports? Okay, there's nothing on the mayor's report tonight either. Is there a clerk's report tonight?
No report.
Okay, move on right on our items of business. We have several tonight. First item here is item A, is an ordinance approving the annual municipal budget for fiscal year 2017-2018. We just held our budget hearing, meaning explained the fiscal year budget, about, was it $32 million for next year total? A lot of it's in infrastructure work, about $13 million is our general fund, closer to $14 million is our general fund for the police and budget for the village hall and so forth. Once again, the trustees have any questions on that? If not, is there a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Nichols,
Second.
second by trustee Wallace. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the trustees? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Nichols.
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item B is an ordinance granting variation departures for the rear yard setback and for the number of required parking spaces for property located at 74 West Rollins Road, Round Lake Beach. That's the Aldi over on Rollins Road. They're gonna be adding about 1,000 square feet onto the back of the building, mostly for additional storage and so forth. They've been doing very brisk business over there and would like to add a little bit of business. It's gonna reduce their parking ratio slightly, but they've never had a problem with the parking in the past and not really increasing the size of the sales floor very much, just by adding the back room there. I think they added a little bit on the sales floor. And that went through the Plan Commission. I think they're also adding additional signage on their property to better identify the store. Any questions by the board? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wallace.
Second.
Second by motion by trustee Husk, second by trustee Wallace. I have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Nichols.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item C is an ordinance approving a special use permit for a resale shop for property located at 966 East Rollins Road, Round Lake Beach, Illinois. They do meet all of our requirements. We're recommended for approval by Planning and Zoning Committee. There was one item that was left out of it that should be included. That's conditioned that a drop-off bin not be allowed on the property. We have a general ordinance against that, but the Plan Commission asked that that be included in their agreement here. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve with that extra condition added?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Butler,
Second.
second by trustee Valdez. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Nichols.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item D is a resolution approving an agreement with CSC Recording Solutions. We learned during one of the fireside chats I had with the Lake County Recorder of Deeds, Maria Ellen Vandervetter, that they have a program that you can do the liens electronically for only $4 each. And that's gonna save us quite a bit of time and money and a lot of effort to place those liens when we have to. We prefer not to place liens, but sometimes it's the only thing the village can do in order for the village to get its money back from expenses that were made. We'd like to move on to that program as soon as possible. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Valdez.
Second.
Second by trustee Butler. Have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item E is a resolution authorizing a final loan closing with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency relative to the Lotus Drive elevated water storage tank. We've met all the requirements of the loan. It's a 2006 EPA loan, so we now actually close the loan out. We'll continue making the payments for another 9 years or so to pay it off, but the loan itself will be all finalized, and we won't have to go back and do any additional reporting then, since it's all completed. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
By trustee Wallace, second by trustee Husk. Have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Wallace? Trustee Butler?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item F, a resolution approving a lease agreement with Konica Minolta for new copier scanners. We've been consolidating a lot of our different purchasing, and the copiers are up right now. I think we have 3 copiers that are up for a new lease. So we're gonna do those together and time those at the lease will roll into when the next lease will be available. I think we have 4 other copiers in lease right now. So we're saving a considerable amount of money by putting them all together. We expect to save even more. We can put them all on the one platform of a contract. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So motion?
Motion by trustee Nichols.
Second.
Second by trustee Butler. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. And item G, as a resolution declaring certain equipment as surplus equipment. This is a very old copier that's no longer even repairable. We've had it looked at, and Trimman told us they can't get the parts, and if we could get the parts, it wouldn't even be worth repairing. It's cheaper to get a new one. So we're just going to get rid of this thing, and I doubt we'll get any money out of it, but we have to declare it a surplus so we can at least get rid of it. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by trustee Valdez,
Second.
second by trustee Wallace. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item H is a resolution approving an agreement with RSM US LLP for audit services. We've used them for several years now. They've done a fantastic job on our audits. Next year, we're going to be doing a RFP, request for proposals, with a few other governmental entities to get a new audit firm, well, probably a new audit firm. And by working with several other organizations that also do audits, we're able to hopefully drive the price down a little bit with the economy of scales and the pricing. So we're looking forward to that for next year. But for this year, we'd like to extend their agreement with RSM US LLP for the audit services. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Husk,
Second.
second by trustee Wallace. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item I is an ordinance approving a First Amendment to facility use agreement between the Village of Round Lake Beach and Heritage Church. The church has leased the Cultural Center and also made a very large donation towards improving the facility in lieu of rent. Now that we need to pass a new agreement, taking into account the additional space being used by the church, and that they made the initial donation in lieu of rent, and now we have to add that a little bit into the rent each month to kind of make it more equitable based on the amount of space that's being used. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee
Second.
Butler, second by trustee Nichols. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item J is a resolution related to participation by elected officials in Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund. We do have to certify that those elected officials covered by the IMRF do meet the requirements of the IMRF. Originally, it was 600 hours per year. Any new elected officials had to meet a minimum 1,000 hours per year, so a few of the newer trustees are not eligible for it, but the trustees that have been on for a while are eligible for it. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wallace.
Second.
Second by trustee Butler. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item K is a resolution accepting a grant from the Illinois Housing Development Authority's Abandoned Residential Property Municipal Relief Fund. We received another $75,000 grant to purchase and tear down abandoned and dilapidated properties. It's been a great program for our community. We've received several grants over the last couple of years, and slowly but surely we're cleaning up some of those older areas of town that really need to be cleaned up. And when we take down an old abandoned house in the neighborhood, it helps the whole neighborhood. So I'm very glad the village has been able to do this. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Valdez, second by trustee Butler. We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item L is an ordinance approving the transfer volume cap in connection with the private activity bond issues and related matters. Each year, the state of Illinois allows the village to issue bonds for certain projects, like low-interest, low-income housing. We can do manufacturing projects and things like that. Brownlee Beach doesn't have anything to do with that this year, so we can actually transfer that bonding authority over to other organizations. This year, we're going to be transferred over to the First-Time Home Buyers Assistance Program that helps people that are first-time home buyers lower the cost of their down payment and reduce their interest rate so they're able to buy a home for the first time. It's been a great program. I think we've had, 20 or 30 people in Raleigh Beach alone that have used that program. So it's been very good to help our residents find affordable housing. Any questions by the board? And this costs no money to the village of Raleigh Beach at all, $0. So that's the even better part of it. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Husk,
Second.
second by trustee Valdez. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item M is a resolution authorizing the conveyance of a certain property located within the village of Round Lake Beach, commonly known as 1222 Idlewild Drive, Round Lake Beach, Illinois. Per our agreement with the grant for the demolitions and property acquisition, we turn over the property to the Fuller Center for the next 3 years. It'll remain vacant, and after 3 years, it should revert back to the village of Round Lake Beach. It's been a great partnership with them, and we appreciate them working with us. But this helps to allow to get those properties torn down and keep it cleaned up, hopefully in perpetuity. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
trustee Butler, second by trustee Nichols. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item N is a resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain property located within the village of Round Lake Beach, commonly known as 1307 North Channel Drive, Round Lake Beach, Illinois. I believe this is the same as the last agreement, last item, item M, just a different address. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wallace,
Second.
second by trustee Nichols. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0. Item O is an ordinance authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Round Lake Beach and the Round Lake Area Park District regarding the exchange of certain equipment. We have a used SUV that the Park District needs that we're going to be selling to them. They're going to be purchasing a golf cart since they have the access to all the golf carts and they buy a bunch at a time. They can get a better price on it. They'll pay the village the difference between the two prices. They're also going to help us with maintenance on the golf cart, I think, for the next year or so. It's a great example of different parts of government working together to lower costs for all of our residents. So I'm glad we're able to work this out with them. They can get what they need, we get what we need, and we all save a little bit of money for our residents. Any
And-
questions by the board?
Mayor, just for the record, again, I work for the Round Lake Area Park District in a supervisory capacity there, so I will not be voting on this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Nichols,
Second.
second by trustee Valdez. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
I'm recusing myself from voting.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
That's approved 5-0 still? Yeah. The abstentions always go with the majority. Okay, there's the last item of business. Now it is open to public participation. Anyone's a question or comment for the board, please come to the microphone here. Give your name and address for the record, and either state your comment or ask your question.
Good evening. My name is Dee Dee Whitnick, and I live at 1505 Idlewild Drive here at Round Lake Beach. And I'm not sure that this is the appropriate forum for the question, but I was shopping at Garden Fresh this last weekend, and I became aware that they're intending to leave the village. I did make a couple phone calls this morning and wasn't able to get any information other than finding out from Sue Mattingly that the Chamber of Commerce is aware of it. But is the village aware that Garden Fresh is planning to close down on April 12th?
Yes, we are, and I'm not sure how much I can actually talk about that.
Oh, and I understand if there's legal issues or something going on, but I just wondered if the village was aware of it. I thought it was an important revenue source. And there are some things I can only get there if I want to buy them in town. And if there was something going on, is there any possibility of the village doing any mediation? And just looking for an update.
Yeah, the village has talked to both sides of what's going on over there for several months now, and we weren't able to impact either way to keep them in place. You're right, they are the best place to get a lot of the ethnic, different foods and so forth. They're the only place to get some of that stuff. And,
Some of it,
so
sure.
I think we all shop there for different items. Unfortunately, this is more of a landlord-tenant issue, and it's something that we don't have any power to change. But,
Okay, that's unfortunate. I was hoping maybe there was something we could do to help mediate, but I hope I haven't interfered, and thank you for
oh,
your
not
time.
at all. I know the Facebook has been full of comments about all people that love the place, and some people that didn't, but
Not
most
even
people
I.
loved it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Other comments by the public? Questions? Well, thank you for all coming on tonight. Appreciate that very much. We don't have any executive session tonight. So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Wallace, second by trustee Valdez. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.